people? Welcome back to OTMkast podcast, where we dive into anything and everything that shapes our lives, from sports to lifestyle, from fashion to careers and beyond. This is your one-stop destination for insightful conversations and engaging discussions. So, on today's episode, we are talking about something that never gets old, and which is comebacks. Either it's in life, your personal life, either it's on the soccer pitch. Comeback stories reminds us of something deep, that as long as you're trying, as long as you're breathing, the story is not over for you. So at this moment, I want to take a look back about some legendary comebacks that has happened in sports and or in life in general. So, let's dive in first things first. Barca's comeback against PSG in 2017. I remember this game like the back of my hand, where we went to Paris Saint-Germain Stadium and we got battered. Like, when I say we, I mean Barcelona and the fans, basically, because the fans are the supporters, are part of the team. We got battered 4-0, literally. I can remember what the feeling was like. Everybody was trolling the whole week, where literally everything was just chaos. It felt like I was numb. Every Barca fan remember what the loss was like for us then. It was something very sorrowful, something that was sad. So it was, in sport, it's almost never been done before, coming back from a 4-0 first leg going into the second leg. But I remember one thing that was, I think Neymar said that time, or was it something he posted? I think it was 1% fate, 99% chance. Yeah. So 1% fate, 99% chance. And I remember our coach then, Luis Enrique, who coaches PSG right now, coincidentally, he said something then that if they can score 4, and then we can score 6. The second leg came and the game started literally with Suarez. I believe it was Suarez that scored the first goal at the time. Yeah. Suarez scored the first goal. Everybody was jubilating. Even though we had lost hope going into the game, when the first goal came in early, it was like a moment of hope. Neymar was literally an outstanding player on that day. With Messi on the pitch, Messi is the GOAT. With Messi on the pitch, I remember what Neymar was doing on the pitch that day, which to today I still don't know why he left the club. But that's not the case. That's not the story today. The beautiful thing that happened in the 95th minute, when the cross came in and Sergio Roberto just some way, somehow got to the ball, stretched out his leg, and the ball went into the back of the net. I literally remember what the feeling was like. I was all over the place. When I mean all over the place, I was all over the place. It was like a crazy moment for me, for every Barca fan, for everyone that loves sport, that was not rooting against Barcelona. It was something that I would never forget. Like, I can remember me running around the whole hours. It was just a crazy moment. But what am I trying to say? If Barcelona had thought or gave up at that time that they were never going to come back, then it would never have happened. I can also remember the Cavaliers of LeBron, Kyrie Irving, back in 2016. Yeah, they were literally down 31 in the NBA Finals. They were playing against one of the greatest, if not the greatest, basketball team that had Steph Curry, the greatest shooter alive, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, and so on. 73 win in that season is still the record for any NBA team. 73-9. Cavaliers were down 3-1 in the NBA Finals. But I think even myself, despite I was supporting the Golden State Warriors, I never thought in a million years that it's going to be possible what the Cavs did. I mean, LeBron James turned into a monster, literally, having I think it was 41 points. Yeah, a 41 points back to back. The block on Andrew Iguodala, and then the cold-blooded 3-pointer of Kyrie Irving over Curry. That was one, if not the greatest 3-pointer ever made in basketball history. I was so down in that moment because I was rooting for Golden State. I never thought a team would come back in the finals 3-1. You only needed to win one game out of 3, and then Golden State blew it. What am I trying to say? The Cavaliers never counted themselves out. Even though it has never happened in the NBA history, they believed in themselves and took it one game at a time. And comeback is not something that would always happen. I mean, don't even, before I even move forward into comeback not always happening, think back to World Cup 2022. No one in the history of soccer would think an African team would make it to the semi-finals of a World Cup. But I can remember Morocco knocking out Spain, knocking out Portugal, and reaching the semi-final. They literally did something that has never happened before. They showed the world that, yes, African, if we develop very well, because we develop one of the greatest individual talents in soccer. But unfortunately, well, let's not even go there. But what am I trying to say? Comebacks are a powerful thing. They are about you refusing to stay down. So let's keep it real at this moment, because not every comeback it's like the Golden State Warriors loss against the Cavaliers, the Barcelona comeback against the PSG. I mean, what's the best time to talk about comebacks if not at this present moment that the remontandas is called Real Madrid against Arsenal? As you can tell, I'm a Barcelona fan, and I'm not a fan of Arsenal. I don't even support them, but my hate for Real Madrid is greater than my dislike for Arsenal. It was something that the whole internet, the whole social media was buzzing. Remontada. I remembered Bellingham coming on the interview or whatever it is that he was talking about. Oh, that's the most talked about thing throughout this week. Even Real Madrid putting it on their social media that 90 minutes is a long time at the Bernabeu. Vini Jr. tweeting about 9 p.m. tomorrow or something. Even what's his name? Rodrigo's dad posting the picture of Santiago Bernabeu. I mean, they did everything they could. Even the fans were buzzing with fireworks and all of that. Aussies trying to intimidate Arsenal, I guess. Well, Arsenal stood their ground. They literally stood their ground, and it was a beautiful thing. The 9-minute goal by Gabriel Martinelli was a beautiful thing for me. What am I trying to say? Comebacks are not always something that would happen every single time. It will never be like the Barcelona. It will never be like the Cavaliers. It's not. It might not be a comeback, but it will step forward like the Morocco at the World Cup. But here's the real truth. Not every comeback happens on your first try. Sometimes you would fail once, you would fail twice before you finally rise. But that does not mean you stop trying. You don't quit because the world counted you out. The people would look down on you. People would see you fail and be happy about you failing. I mean, some people's happiness is just seeing you failing or not matching up to what their expectation of you is. That's the sad truth about the world right now. But the main question is, if people count you out, would you count yourself out as well? Because if you decide not to count yourself out, then that's the ultimate thing in life. Think about what it is in life about someone like Tiger Woods, with the injuries and personal scandals, the public embarrassment. People said he was literally finished, but in many ways it was not. I never thought he was going to come back and win no Masters. But I remember back in 2019 when he won the Masters again. That wasn't just about golf. It was about resilience. It was about not counting himself out, even though everybody had counted him out. Look at one of the greatest people. I'm talking about the one and only Steve Jobs, a co-founder of Apple, got fired in his own company, started something, I think, Next and Pixar, but some way, somehow, because of his lack of resilience, Apple themselves brought him back into the company. And now we all know what Apple is right now because of Steve Jobs. So the iPad, the iPod, the MacBooks, the iPhone. He didn't just return. He redefined what tech is in the world right now. Let's look back at Colonel Sanders, the KFC man. He started that brand, I believe it was around in his 60s. Yeah, in his 60s, after a lifetime of failures. I remember when I was reading about him, he got rejected almost 1,000 times. But look at him now. He built an empire. Even though he's not here anymore, KFC still lives on. You know, look at Vera Wang. Didn't design our first wedding dress not until she was, I think, 40. Yeah, not until when she was 40. Even Samuel L. Jackson, the famous Samuel L. Jackson, didn't land his major movie role until when he was 43. Yeah, 43. Even Morgan Freeman, they didn't land a major role until in their 40s or 50s. And let's not forget about people like I'm trying to remember his name, Inky Johnson, a college football player whose dream was literally shattered by injury. But instead of quitting in life, he became a speaker, an author, and voice of hope for millions and millions of people. What's the point that I'm trying to make? Come back, they are not for a few people. They are for the ones who refuse to stop showing up. So whether you've been knocked down 1 time, 2 times, even a million times, or you are just literally tired of waiting on your moment, always remember this, that setbacks don't mean it is over. They just might be the setup. Remember the story of Muhammad Ali and Mike Tyson, 2 of the greatest heavyweight boxers in the world. Despite them spending a couple of years in prison, they came back, redefined what boxing is, and became heavyweight champion. So you are never too old, you're never too late, neither are you done. Setbacks only happens if you decide to stop trying when you fail. They used to say something in my language, I don't know how to, pardon me, my Yoruba people, but what it literally translates to is, when you're riding an horse and you fall 7 times, you get back up, ride the horse again, the 8th time. You never give up. You should never give up on life. That's one thing. You can fail now, but your comeback story would be outstanding than even some of the people that I've mentioned before. So one thing you want to do for yourself is not count yourself out. In anything you're doing in life, do not count yourself out. You would fail. It's common. People fail. But the real failure is when you fail and then you give up on not trying anymore. That's when the real failure comes in. That's when you stay down. So make sure to decide today or moving forward that you would never give up. Always try. Keep on trying. Keep on pushing. Never give up. So if you are in the middle of your own comeback story, please tag me on OTMkast or DM me. Let's talk about it. Even if you want to come on the episode to talk about a story to inspire people, let's talk about it. Let's collaborate. Share your story with the world, and people might get inspired through it. But always remember one thing: no one writes your story, you do. So, people, for all my listeners, for all my subscribers, thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much, because without you, there will be no OTMkast channel. It is a community. If you're just joining, if you're just listening for the first time, thank you and welcome. Make sure to click that subscribe button and follow us on all social media. OTMkast, one word, OTMkast. Like, subscribe, and leave your comment, leave your thoughts. If you have a story, leave it in the comment, or you can DM me, we can collaborate. I can bring you on the show. So thank you, everybody, wherever you're listening from. Have a good day, a good night. Bye.